Alrighty, hello everybody. Hope you've had a nice start to your new year. We are still in January, the longest month in the world. So I thought with a little bit of popularity that Panic at the Disco remix I did is gained a little bit. You know, people are stoked on it. I thought I'd do a little walkthrough for you guys. And then if there's any DJs out there, I'll have a copy for you to play before it comes out. I do have label music coming out soon, so I'm going to sit on this for a little while still, but it will eventually be a free download and all that shit on SoundCloud. So anyways, let's just get right into it. If you haven't heard it, just do quick little build the drop idea and then we'll start going through it. Haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? No, much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of So pretty chill, but still fucking going off on the dance floor. It's pretty fun. So first off, obviously, I know I've done some of my flip walkthroughs before, but tried and true, I buy the song on iTunes or whatever, and then I go to my favorite little AI vocal or STEM website, which is LALA.LAI. It's like lalo.ai or something. I don't know. I spend like $20 and I get like 2,000 minutes of, AI split time or whatever it is. It's extremely handy. So I won't spend too much time on that. I've mentioned it many times before. And also, for this, I went and I got the MIDI for this track. And if you didn't know this, pretty much, I've never found a song that I couldn't find the MIDI for. People have transcribed it, so much music into MIDI. So it's pretty easy to just go and grab all the parts. So when I downloaded the MIDI, it gave me the guitar parts, the bass parts, the cello parts. It's really awesome. I didn't use everything, but it just makes it fast. I could sit here and tap out the melody or whatever, but it's a flip. Try to make it as fast and as easy for myself as possible. So I layered the original. So the original, very cool string part. I layered that with this lo-fi patch. It's this current patch that has some modulation in the pitch, which it's just got a little bit of movement in here going on from an LFO, and it's just helping it give it like that detuned sound. A little bit of transient shaper, some EQ, some rift for some extra crunch. And then the keys were another patch. Nothing crazy, so just layered that up and kind of gave it same but different feel. All right, the vocal stuff. It's never a perfectly clean vocal when you get it through AI or whatever. It's very difficult to get a perfectly clean one. So I always like to dirty it up a little bit to make it sound intentional. So there's a couple things going on here. Main vocal processing. that perfect vocals rack, which is in the template video I did last month. Grab that. It's extremely useful. And this is just a little bit of filtering and auto pan right here at the beginning. Well, imagine. And then on these two, on the layer. Well, imagine as I'm pacing the pews in a church. I'm pretty sure I just used a different warp mode. Yeah, I put it on beats. I kind of wanted it to have that little stuttery feel to it. On its own is not great, but mixed underneath the main vocal, it gives it a little bit more character. Most of what's happening on this channel is in the second verse, where I did some pretty fun modulation to get it to sound quite different. Well, in fact, well, I'll look at it this way. I mean, technically, your marriage is saved. Well, this calls for a toast for pour the champagne. Well, in fact, well, I'll look at it this way. I mean, technically, our marriage is saved. Well, this calls for a toast, so pour the champagne, pour the champagne. So that was fun. In Ableton 12, they have this auto tuner plugin. Finally, this effect that's, I mean, Jesus, we've all wanted an auto tune for a long time, and I don't do a lot of auto tune stuff, so I never felt the need to like pay for Melodyne or any of the other ones that are out there. So just a little vibrato automation here, and I kind of set the scale a little wonky and just play with the dry wet. Pretty fun. It just gives it a different flavor. Oh, well, in fact. And that's just straight through. Well, in fact. So that's for the vocal stuff. Here's a little. Yep, just some more pitch map stuff, little altar boy. Just to layer it on the drop there. And then there's a little vocal chopper that kind of carries throughout the song, which I like. Nothing crazy here. I just picked a part of the vocal and just did some processing on it. A little bit of Ahi's instant grooves, some Mr. Bill rack stuff. Yeah, that's fairly simple. Not a whole lot of crazy effects either. Just kind of, like I said, with a flip, I'm not going to work, months and months on this song. I think I spent basically an entire week on it, which is good for me. Like, I like where it's at. I think it's fun. It's playable. It's listenable. That's what I'm going for. So let's see here. Well, imagine as I'm pacing the pews in a church corridor, and I can't help but hear. No, I can't. Just a nice thick sub. Got some saturation on it. Some EQ to take out some of the noisy shit on the top. It's a little too much. Drums, nothing crazy here either. Just a couple chopped up loops, a couple just full on loops, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it simple. Simple drums, just trying to keep it easy. So some of the, it's kind of funny. A lot of people were saying, oh, that's giving like, what is it? The Mr. Bill Pleasure Seeker vibes. I think it's in the same key, but also this high synth is a Mr. Bill synth that I just changed, which is hilarious. It's just a high FM, or it's just a FM stabby type fella. And then I automated this long delay that I have in my returns to give it a little bit more And I have one of the wubs going through the long delay as well. Just help filling out some space. I am a huge fan of returns. Some people don't like to use them. I think they're extremely handy. So base layers. What did I do with this? Okay, so this background layer. So I basically just have this reverb kind of automating from this LFO. How's it sound? And this was just another duplicate of the main wobble, and then it just kind of does its own thing, put some OTT, some more EQ, and then on the bounce, I'm just automating the gain to give a little bit more movement. So that for the main wub, very simple, obviously, straightforward and to the point, which I really enjoy. Just a good classic wobble, fine with that. And this is going into this return bases, some erosion, some overdrive, a little bit of space created with delay. Yeah, I got some pretty simple fills going on. I think a lot of it is basically just this reverb throw right here that's kind of giving it some character. Some little reverse snares, shit like that. Nothing crazy at all. So now we get to the B section here with some more vocal stuff. With a sense So I'm a big fan of that, like those tremolo vocals, and I really like that sound right now in a lot of like house music and trance. So I tried to recreate it my way into some dubstep. So it's just some auto pan that's automated on and off. I kind of did a little bit of stuff with the phase, because when it's in sorry, it's early here still. We got our just changes it from that mono to stereo very slightly here at the end, so you can kind of hear it start to like widen out a little bit. Got a little bit of saturation on it, some pretty intense EQ. So yeah, that's just kind of living back there. Well, in fact, I'll look at it this way. I know technically I'm married to synth, but this calls for a toast for pour the champagne. And then at the end here, pour the champagne, pour the champagne. I thought I was being clever by putting in wind chimes. I chimed, wind chimes. Hilarious. Oh, this pad is this same idea that I did with the chopper thing, where I just took a part of a stretched out, mangled vocal part, and then just turned it into this pad with some reverb and delay and whatever. Nobody cares about pads. Just some more layered stuff in here. Oh yeah, most of this effect stuff is coming from Transit. I think I've popped this in once before in a video. It's a fun little effect rack made by, oh crap, I can't remember who makes it. Doesn't matter. It's like, I don't know, maybe $50 on Splice or something. I started paying for it and I've enjoyed it, so I've used it quite a bit there, and just some effect stuff going on. Just like some cello-y string chord stuff going on here to follow it. This is just what I call radio vox. Just a little effect rack with just this aggressive EQ here. Makes it sound like it's coming through like a radio or something. I don't know, it's dumb. I chime in with the havoc you people ever heard of. Closing a goddamn door, no. What's better than these trying to sing with the steps of poison rushing down an air. So most of this is all coming from one patch. I mean, I even think, yeah, this Transit is giving it this, I couldn't figure out what to fill in this like last little bar, and I found this because without it's fine, but it felt like it needed something to fill the space. So that's without. It's this preset called Riser Designer, and it just gave it this cool little frill at the end. It's just like feeding into a square wave or something. And then this little guy here. And this is just happening through changing the wavetable position. You can see is sine waves on that one, just pure FM sine, and then change it to like a rectangle. And then Ahi's instant wubs. I could have, made a second patch, could have done some LFO editing and all that shit, but he makes tools to make writing faster, and so I use them all the time. I have some of the guitars panning back and forth to fill in a little more space. I couldn't find too many spots to use it that made sense in this song, so it just kind of... So just took the first, that little FM stab, changed some of the parameters, give it a little bit different timbre. Kind of followed it. Like I said, didn't want to overwork this thing. Kind of calls back to a stripped down first drop. So that's at least the songwriting process for it. Not too, it's kind of similar to what I do for every track, where I have my kick and my subs going through. Just took out some of the real low content that I didn't need. A little soothe here. Just kind of taming everything. You get a little bit of buildup, with a kick in the same area, blah, blah, blah. A K clip to catch it. And then my standard tape saturation. Into another saturator just to clip some stuff off. I've shown you guys the trick that I use with this meter in conjunction with my tape saturation. Basically, I just take, if you haven't seen it, basically what I'm doing is finding the integrated loudness level, which here the reference is minus 8.7. And then I turn on my tape saturation. I mix it to where I like it, which means I have to turn everything down because these things are so finicky, as it's it's an analog emulated plugin. And then I just gain it back to get to my reference level. So I'm changing the tonality of it with this saturator, but I'm not losing or gaining unnecessary loudness by adding this, because I already like where everything was sitting in the mix, and if I left it as is, this just gets blown out, so I have to compensate. And this is the end result. And then both of those sum up here with just another K clip just to catch some stuff and things. Pre-master channel gets a little busier, but this is fairly standard for what I tend to run on a pre-master, which technically just turns into my master. I just keep it off of my main channel. Little bit of extreme OTT. You can see we're only at 10%, outputs at 21. It just gives it a little extra underneath. A tiny bit of glue compression. This EQ, no shaping really. I'm just taking low information out of the sides because we don't need any of that nonsense. Goldfoss, I'm a big fan of. It's like a algorithmic EQ. It's subtle but extremely useful. It's pretty resource heavy. I know a lot of people can use this or will use this on their different groups and stuff. I try to keep it off. It'll just start slowing stuff down too much. So it works for me there. Little soothe to take off some high end because there's, just some stuff going on. Another K clip. And then down here, just more metering stuff. I actually put 2 more decibels of gain after this last clipper, just to give it needed a little more to be competitive with when I play it live. So there's a little bit of distortion added, but I think it's manageable and I don't think it takes away from the song. That's without it. Still sounds good. And using Vision 4X, the Noisia plugin, I can see that, this isn't uncommon. Every other track I reference is going well above what actual zero is. So I don't usually like to do this, but for the sake of it not sounding like shit because I did it, I'm okay with it. Nobody fought. There's no such thing as rules anymore. It doesn't matter as long as it sounds good. So yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, I'm just a huge proponent of using that AI website, the lolol.ai or whatever it is, and then finding MIDI. You know, making flips doesn't have to be difficult. It does help me get through the writing process faster because I can spend too much time on original music to the point where I lose the idea in the first place. But by grabbing MIDI and just chucking some vocals in there and working around what I already like about this song. I didn't want to change too much. I like to keep the original integrity of the music whenever I do a flip because I'm flipping it because it's a good song. I don't want to turn it into something that it's not. Um, so yeah, hope that was helpful. Hope you guys enjoy the song. If you're a DJ, play it out, man. It's getting some real fun reactions. It's a good sing along song for everybody. And for those of you who are just waiting for the SoundCloud drop, it's going to be a couple months probably, to not step on my own toes with other label music. So anyways, hope you learned something. Now go create something. All right. See you guys.